So as we entered into FY20, we had just finished our centennial celebration. Then we were trying to anticipate where were we going into our second century? What goals and objectives, even if they were aspirational, should we be pointing toward as an organization? It turned out that the vision from the board and the vision from the senior staff was largely complementary, and in some cases it was exactly the same vision. But within a week or so of that culminating moment of a shared vision came the reality of the COVID crisis. And so all of a sudden, those aspirational goals were put on hold as we recalibrated to deal with the reality of remote work, closed test centers, uncertain economies at the state government level and at the architecture practice level, classrooms going remote in terms of architectural education, and uncertainty regarding revenue streams for the council itself. So for April and May, everything was shut down and no one was testing anywhere, and not just for our exam, but anybody's exam. And then there were other issues regarding rescheduling that were confusing to the customer that we had to explain and try to repair. And so we instituted a lot of extra steps to try to ease the stress on the customer. We extended the rolling clock. We waived rescheduling fees. And we learned how to be more proactive in explaining what was and wasn't going to happen and the rationale behind it. This was not without pain on the part of the customer and not without some frustration on our end. We had a board meeting in mid to late April, and this was a really important sort of flashpoint in the remaining weeks of the fiscal year. The board ended up electing to defer any resolutions till a later date and to focus on a bare bones annual business meeting that would continue the governance model so that we would still have elections for board members. We would still have end of year reports from treasurer and president. We would still introduce the new leadership, and we would keep it brief. We got a new awareness and I think an appreciation for the agility of the decision-making process, both at the board and the staff level, and the essential partnership between the board and the staff as we move forward. But by the end of the fiscal year, we were largely back to firing on all pistons in terms of revenue, and we really didn't skip a beat in terms of delivery. We came up with ways to make sure we were connected, that we were keeping each other's spirits up, that we were engaging with each other on a frequent basis to sustain morale, and it really demonstrating the strength and the mettle and the resilience of our staff and our staff leadership, as well as our customers, our member boards, our board of directors, all of whom were really leaning into this and helping make sure that the key elements of what we do as a council were sustained. So at the end of the day, we got through the fiscal year with a general optimism that we had a sustainable and resilient framework that would take us through the pandemic, however long it lasted, that we would be there for our customers and our member boards, and that we would be ready in the post-pandemic environment to continue on.